You are raising a good child, but are you intentionally breaking their emotions? Hmm. Join me here tonight on Parenting with Coach Ayolua. Yeah, my name is Ayolua Dedeji, your parenting guru. And every Saturday by 7 p.m., we are here talking about parenting. And today is another big day, trust me. Today is another day that you are going to walk away with tools and strategies that you need to raise emotionally balanced children. You are raising a good child. Yes, you are. But are you breaking your children emotionally? You will find out now. There are children who never talk back. Mm, they never argue. They always behave. And those are often children who struggle most later in life. That's the shocking part of it. We all crave to have children who are obedient. You say, sit down there, your child sits down. You say, get up there, don't do this, don't do that. You expect your child to do as you say. Yes, there are some children like that. Mm, they never argue, they never talk back. They are always cooperating, they are always behaving well. They never question. But sadly, these are children who often struggle most later in life. Not because they are weak, they are actually not weak, no, but because something important was missing. And that's what I want you to take note tonight. Something important was missing when they were growing up. Mm. Like I do say, growing up, childhood is the foundation of all. Honestly, like we do say, there is an adage in Yoruba language that says, "Bí Saturday bá ṣe máa rí, Àlàmísì láti máa ń bọ̀." If you are not Yoruba, how do I translate this? That is, how Saturday is likely going to look like will be determined by Friday. So, what we look like in our adulthood is a function of what happened to us or what didn't happen to us during our childhood. All right. And that's why I keep saying it, I keep hammering it, that childhood is a very important stage, is a state that we need to be very, 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 very intentional about, because it determines how that child will eventually live when that child becomes an adult. So these children, this set of children that never argues, that always cooperate, we tag them good children. And when I hear parents say, "Oh, my child is obedient. My child dare not do that." I've had a lot of parents say that. I do smile because I know that oftentimes, that things going on, wrong thing going on in that child. Mm. So I was saying that these children, they won't struggle in their adulthood because they were strong, but because something was missing when they were growing up. Because their childhood, something went wrong during their childhood. And most parents never, ever, ever even realize that they caused it. Mm. And that's why intentional parenting at this time is not negotiable. It is not. If you are parenting, I was thinking about something. I was writing today, and I was thinking, I just felt I was afraid. As in, presently, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of how the next 10, 15 years will look like because of the way we are parenting now. Many of us lack tools. Many of us lack skills. That is even not the problem. Many of us are so fixed in our minds that we are not even ready to learn. Even when a professional, when someone is coming out and saying, oh, this thing you are doing, this is the negative effect. I have done this work here, I have done this, I have data here, I have done my research, I have done this, and this is how this is the result. This is what I found out. We are so fixed. We have, our minds are so blocked, and you hear, oh, allow us to do our parenting the way we want to do it. Oh, that was how my parents did to me, and I turned out okay. Oh, my father did this to me, and I turned out to be okay. Oh, this is what scripture says. We will even be quoting scripture out of context. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. So this time, intentional parenting is not negotiable. If you know you want to parent purposefully, if you know you have somewhere that your child or your children are going to, if you know you are not raising, you are not just raising children, you are raising children that will stand out, then you need to be very, very intentional. You need to be part of community like this, where we come together to learn, where we come together to grow. Because parenting, like I always say, is a learned skill. Most of the things that we grew up to, most of them are not even working. But because we have been raised not to be able to question systems, we just keep recycling, we just keep continuing that cycle. We keep continuing that cycle. We keep raising angry children. We keep raising woman beater, wife beaters. We keep raising, toxic people, all in the name of discipline. So most parents don't even realize that they are the reason, they are the one causing how most people now behave as adults. Sometimes, not quite long ago, my elder brother was talking to my mom, and he was trying to point out what happened to him during while he was growing up, while he was young. He was trying to express what he felt, emotional distance and all of that. And unfortunately, our mother couldn't pick up the point. Her mother was, oh, I did what I needed to do. I did this for you. I did that for you. And all of that. Yes, I know that our parents tried. They did what they could because that was all they knew. But now we know better. We should do better. I could point out his pain point, what actually it was trying to express, that missing point. I was able to get that. So most parents, they don't even know that they are the one causing it. And there's one thing, just one thing, just one thing. If you're here with me, let me see you in the chat box. Say, hi, coach, I'm here with you. Say, hi, coach, I am here with you, because I am here with you. So there's just one thing that determines whether a child becomes emotionally strong or the child struggles silently. There's just one thing. And that's what we are talking about today. And I really, really, really want you to be present and be present. If you are here with me, please share the link to this session to parents or your contacts, to your friends, your families, your neighbors, to people who are co-parenting with you, so that we can all learn and grow together. So there's one thing, just one thing that determines whether your child becomes emotionally strong or whether your child struggles silently. Just one thing. And we'll get to it just in a moment. Are you here with me? If you're here with me, say hi. Say hi in the chat box. Excuse me. Say hi in the chat box if you are here with me. So today we are not talking about parenting. I'm not going to address parenting uh, on the surface level. This is not a surface level advice. No, the tools, the models, the frameworks that I share, they are research backed and they are field tested. So I'm not giving you theory. No, I'm giving you practical teachings, practical frameworks, practical models that works, proven models that you can start using if you are intentional, that you can start using as soon as we are done in class. So today we are going deeper because emotional strength is not something a child is born with. No, it's not. Emotional strength, yes, let me say it again. Emotional strength is not something anyone whatsoever is born with. Mm-mm. It is built every single day, day by day, through how you show up with your child, through how you respond to your child. That is how emotional strength is being built up every day, every day. And the truth is this: many parents are actually raising good children. Some, at least, I've met quite a number of parents that are trying, they are putting in their best, and they are raising good children, but unintentionally weaken their children's excuse me, emotionally. Excuse me. They are unintentionally, they don't mean it. They don't mean it. Excuse me. Like I do say, most of the damages that we do to our children, they are unintentional. We are not intentional. That is not actually what we wanted to do. But because we lack skills, we lack tools. So we eventually, end up hurting our children instead of, what we wanted to do. So many of us are trying our best. We are raising good children, but we are unintentionally, we are weakening our children emotionally. Now, let me first talk about the biggest lie. There's one big lie that all of us, almost all of us, even your coach, once believed. The biggest lie. Most parents believe that a strong child is a child who doesn't cry, a child who doesn't argue, a child who just listen. And that's why you will tell your child when your child is crying, why are you crying? What is making you to cry? If your child is a boy, you say things like, boys don't cry now. Why are you crying? Is it because of this little thing that you are crying? Why are you crying? Why are you doing this? So we believe that strong children are children who don't cry, children who don't argue, children who just obey, who are just calm, who you say go and the child goes, you say come and the child come. We think these children, this kind of children, this set of children that live like this, they are strong. But that is not strength. It is not. So if you have that belief, I am telling you now that that is not strength. I will tell you what exactly it is. It is suppression. It is suppression. Write that in the comment section. It is suppression. So if you have a child and that child doesn't cry, doesn't argue, doesn't question, just do things the way you ask the child to do it, and you think everything is okay, let me bust your bubble. Everything is not okay. That is the truth. What is happening to that child is that that child is being suppressed. The child is undergoing suppression. You are suppressing that child. And I need to let you know that suppression is very dangerous. Mm, very, very dangerous. Because it looks like strength on the outside. It's like strength. This is what some of us believe. You beat a child, mm, and the child just whip it off, and you're like, that child is strong. It is not strength. It is suppression, and it is dangerous. It looks like strength on the outside, but creates fragility. It creates fragility on the inside. Fragility. That was why I said in my introduction that children who don't argue, who obeys, who just listen, they are the kind of children who grow up to struggle as adults. Most of them, they struggle emotionally as adults. Mm? So a child who feels they can't express emotion doesn't become strong. If your child cannot express emotion, that child is not strong. That child is becoming adapted. That child is learning to hide. That child is learning to please. That child is learning to avoid conflict. And all of these are dangerous. All of this are dangerous. I have seen children described as perfect. Mm. I work with teenagers. I work with children. So when I'm talking, I'm not just I'm not just talking nonsense. I'm talking from my wealth of experiences. Yes. I have seen children who are termed perfect. Some parents will say, I trained my children very well. I trained my child. My child dare not. Oh, some will say, oh, my child is very calm. My child is gentle. My child is this. My child is that. My child is quiet. My child is obedient. My child never complains. Anything you give to my child is okay with it, and all of that. But when I get close to these children, almost all of them, there is a pattern. Yes, there is a pattern that I see in almost all of them. There is a pattern. This set of children don't tell their parents how they feel. Mm. Some, because they don't want to disappoint their parents. Some, because the home environment is not conducive enough for the child to express him herself. And I discovered that most of those children, they actually have a lot going on in their mind, going on their head. A lot of them are carrying burdens. Ah, a lot of them are carrying burdens that even some of us adults cannot carry. And yet, the parents will say, I know my child. I know my son. My son is very quiet. My son is reserved. That's how you say it, right? My child is reserved. My child is this. My child is obedient. My child is not like every other children. I trained my child very well, and my child obeys me. Anything I say, my child knows that is what that child should do. Watch it. Because I've seen many, many, many children that that statement is untrue. That is not strength. That is fear. That a child cannot express him or herself. That you have a teenager and you are giving an order, you are giving an instruction, and your teenager cannot question, and you are happy. Please don't be happy. Something is wrong. Yes, something is wrong somewhere, because that teenager, that's your teen girl, your teen boy is supposed to be thinking. That's your child supposed to be feeling at that stage. And when a child is thinking, when a child is feeling, that child has a right to express, to question, to challenge. So if you have a teenager, especially, and you think that child is calm, hmm, hmm, I can tell you for free that something is likely to be going on. So, what is the consequence of this? This is what it creates later in life. Adults who struggle to say no, like some of us, even as adults, we struggle to say no. Some of us, we are in relationship, we are not comfortable in that relationship. Now, I'm not talking about husband and wife relationship. I'm talking about friends. You are in relationship, and you know that your friend is not treating you well the way you desire to be treated, but you are there like a tree that cannot move. You are there. You are complaining. You cannot say no. They say this is what is happening there. You are there. That is what is happening there. You are there. You can't just say no. You are just being, how did this part of scripture says, you are just being driven away by winds of doctrine, different things. Let's do this. You can't say no. You can't even, have a stand. These are children who seek validation and not in the right place. Not in the right place. These are children who grow up, to feel anxious in relationship. They are just unnecessarily anxious. They are children who even grow up. This is terrible. They grow up not even knowing who they are. And many of us are into that category. But I don't want that cycle to continue. And that's why I created this platform for you to learn. And I want to encourage you. Thank you all that has been joining me every Saturday. Please, I know that you have been learning because I know what I'm giving out. I know. Some of the teachings I give out here for free, if I package it and I want to sell, I know how much it costs. But because I want you to thrive in your parenting, I just don't want you to survive. Because again, I understand that parenting is nation building. If we can get parenting right, you see all these problems we have in the world, all these kidnappings, terrorism, war, tribalism, and all of that. If we can get parenting right, we will get almost all of this right. We will get almost all of this right. Please do not miss this session. Do not miss this session. So, obedience without emotional safety does not produce strength. Yes, obedience without emotional safety, it doesn't produce strength. It produces silent struggle. It produces silent struggle. I have a lot of teenagers that are struggling silently. They are living with their parents, yet they are struggling, and their parents are not even aware. That's sad. If this is already shifting, if today's conversation is already shifting your thinking, please hit the like button and share the link to this session so that this session can reach as many parents who also need to hear what you are hearing today. Don't be economical. Don't be economical with what you are learning. Share the link, comment, like, and the like. So let's now talk about the real foundation. The real foundation of mental strength is not discipline, it's not confidence, it's not even resilience. It is emotional safety. Let me say it again. I said the real foundation of emotional strength is not discipline. Some of us think it's discipline. It's not discipline. It's even not confidence. It's not resilience. It is emotional safety. Am I saying that all of these are not important? No, that's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. They are all important. Discipline, of course, by now you should know that I don't joke with discipline. Discipline, resilience, competence, confidence, name it. They are important. But emotional safety is the foundation for all. If you miss the emotional safety, you are likely to miss every other thing in parenting. Mm. Emotional safety means that your child feels seen, your child feel heard, your child feel understood, your child feel accepted even when corrected. It means that your child doesn't have to choose. It means that your child doesn't have to choose between being loved and being themselves. Most times, when we discipline our children, we give them options. We give them options. So emotional safety in a home means that your child doesn't have to choose between being loved or being him or herself. In fear-based home, excuse me, this is if you are operating, fear-based parenting system. If you are the parent that yell, you shout, you don't give room for mistakes, you shame, you are the president general. Everything is jijin. You are coming. Your children are running away. They make mistakes. They can't admit that they make mistakes. Your children tell lies. They do all sorts of. mm, That means you are running a fear-based home. So in a fear-based home, children behave, yes, but they are anxious unnecessarily. They comply, but they are disconnected. Sometimes they comply because they just want peace to reign, not because they understand why they need to comply, why they need to do what you ask them to do, or why they need not to do what you don't want them to do. They comply, but they are disconnected. Disconnected, and you are not even aware. But in a safe home, children open up. Hmm? They recover from mistakes. Even when they make mistakes, they come to you. Like our baby, sometimes when he poo on his body, he will just come and knock at our door and say, "Mommy, I have poo poo on my body." You know, sometimes it could be annoying, but sometimes I say, wow, see the kind of emotional safety that this child has. Even when I messed up, when I mess up, I can still come to my parents. Say, "Mommy, I have poo poo on my body." Hmm. So in a safe home, children open up, they recover from mistakes, they develop inner stability. Inner stability. And this is what we are talking about. Inner stability. Fear produces compliance. Like I do say, fear, it stifles growth. If you are here with me, put that in the comment section. Yes, I said that. Fear stifles growth. No child, no child, no matter how intelligent that child is, no matter how well you try out the level of good life you try to give a child, if you are running a fear-based system, that child cannot grow because fear stifles growth. No child, in fact, not even a child, even you as adults, nobody, nobody, even as a parent, nobody thrives under fear. Nobody, nobody. Fear stifles growth, but safety produces resilience. Safety produces resilience. So if you hear me shouting, give your children emotional safety. This is how to correct your child. Ensure that your child feels safe when you are correcting. I know what I mean. And I mean what I know. Yes, I know what I mean. And at the same time, I mean what I know. Let me give you a scenario so that I won't so that I won't sound too theoretical. Let's say your child spills a drink, maybe milk or juice or something. Fear-based response. If you are running a fear-based parenting system, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Fear stifles growth. Yes. Nobody can grow under fear. Nobody. Not even adults. Nobody. Nobody. So when you want to correct your child and you already create fear in that child, you have missed it. You have missed it. Quote me anyway. You have missed it. I was talking about discipline not quite long. You know, I was in a gathering where we think we understand Bible, and someone asked a question that a child, there was a time she beat her child and she was really feeling bad, and the person that anchored the teaching said you have to beat a 3-year-old child, that you must beat. Oh, even the scripture says that uh, uh, foolishness abounds in the hearts of children, and the rod of correction, we drive it away. So you should find a size of a cane and beat a 3-year-old child. I can only shake my head. I can only shake my head, because this is the conditioning that we have been given, that because the scripture says rod, we assume is cane. The scripture says rod, actually. If we want to obey the scripture to the latter, you will use rod. You will not use belt. You will not use cane. You will not use hand. You will look for rod. You know what rod is now. Even if you want to beat a 2-year-old, you will use rod and beat that child. It is how our brain has been conditioned. What the scripture means about rod is just a tool. Is a tool. It doesn't have to be a physical punishment. And I try to explain the science of it. When you create fear, you want to correct a child and you create fear. See, that section of the brain of a child that's supposed to pick what you are teaching, you switch that part off when the child is afraid. That session just switch off, just turn off, and the child will be in 3 states: either in flight mode, the child wants to run away, or in fight mode, the child wants to fight back, want to defend him or herself, or stiff mode, the child is just confused. None of these states, no child will learn. So fear stifles growth. Yes. So if you are running fear-based parenting system, you are doing your children, in fact, you are sowing seed of emotional distress into the future of your child. I'm sorry, but I have to tell you this, because that is what you are doing. All right. So I'm giving a scenario. Thank you, brother Ify. Thank you always for joining. So I'm giving a scenario that your child splits drinks or maybe milk or juice or something. Fear-based response will be, what is wrong with you? Why are you like this? And when you say that, what your child learns is that I am the problem. Mistakes are dangerous. And the child begins to be careful. The child begins to audit him or herself. And that is fear. That is fear taking over that child. But safe response to be like, hey, this looks like an accident. Let's clean up together. Next time, you hold it with both hands. That is safety. When you do that, that child learns that I am safe, even when I make mistakes. I am loved. I can try again. Can you see the difference between fear and safety? So choose, like scripture will say. We have given you how did the scripture say? You have the right to choose, but I encourage you to choose safety. Choose safety, because that is how you can discipline effectively. Here is what most parents get wrong. They think they are creating safe environment. A lot of us think we are creating safe environments. A lot of us think, excuse me, that we are creating safe environments, whereas our daily reactions are quietly doing the opposite. I met a parent. I had a conversation with a parent recently, and the parent was like, "Oh, my child dare not do this, my child dare not do that." But I've noticed something in that child, one of the children. This child is always angry. I was telling my husband yesterday, I was telling I said something is wrong with this child, and the parents are not aware. Something is wrong. Some of us may not know, but because of my work, because of my profession, my experience, I could easily pinpoint problems, parenting problems, even without diagnosis or assessment. So a lot of us think we are creating enabling environments, whereas our everyday action, our reactions are doing directly opposite. Directly opposite. Hmm? Directly opposite. So let me talk about 5 silent mistakes that we make. Almost all of us are guilty of this. And I know that here, this conversation at this point will make you feel uncomfortable, but that's okay. I'm your coach. I don't need to make you feel comfortable, right? Sorry if I make you feel uncomfortable. Most parents damage emotional safety in ways that look normal. Mm, it looks normal. You know how we do it now. It looks normal. Shebi is my child. Shebi the child misbehave and I should not discipline my child. Will you? Some of you will even tell us. Don't tell me how to discipline my child. Like I was talking to a parent. She said, "Eh, my parents flogged me very well, and I turned out okay, and I'm okay. In fact, now I'm thanking my parents. I'm thanking my father particularly for beating me." I smiled and I said, "Ma, that is trauma speaking." He said, "No, it's not trauma. I'm not traumatized. Hey, I'm an internationally trained trauma expert. Yes, I am a trained trauma recovery expert. In case you don't know, I am a trained trauma recovery expert." So when I hear some statements that are trauma based, I know, I know. I know. I may not talk, but I know oftentimes, even without running analysis. So all of some of these things that we do, they look normal and we do them almost every day. So come with me. Let me share with you. Overreacting to small mistakes, you overreact. And let me be honest with you, I fall into this category because I am an intimidating Oma. This is a term you may not be able to understand this until you join us at the model family. If you join us, you register for our courses, you will learn a lot. So I am an intimidating Oma coupled with systematic fraud. I love things to be the way I want it. Yes. If our bedtime is 7 p.m., if we are not in bed by that 7 p.m., there's problem. Everybody is in soup. So I fall into that category. I overreact to small mistakes. But hey, I am able to understand the damage that this is doing to children. So I've been able to work on myself. At some point, my beloved said, Ayo, I'm really impressed with the way you react to, to incidents. Sometimes ago, I have been able to work on myself. And even when things that would have, shaken me, hey, yeah, I'm calm. I am calm. So these are silent mistakes that we all make that affect our children emotionally. That's that we eventually raise children, good children, who grow up to become a struggling adult in the future. Overreacting to small mistakes. What does this teach children? It teaches that mistakes are dangerous. And once a child picks that mistakes are dangerous, It is not okay to make mistake. That child has started dying gradually. That child has started dying gradually. That child will be afraid to take risks. That child will be afraid to act. That child will be too careful. I need to rush because of our time. Then using shame. Shame. Some of us will use shame all in the name of correcting. We are correcting our children, we are shaming them. I know that's how we grew up, but you need to unlearn that. Shame teaches a child that I am the problem. And when a child sees him or herself as problem, there is actually problem. Hmm, there is actually problem. Then the next one is being inconsistent. Being inconsistent. The child learns that I'm not secure. I don't feel secure. Today, the child misbehave. Today you discipline. The same thing, the child will do it next time, you don't discipline. The child doesn't feel secure. If you are managing a behavior, a bad behavior, if that child repeats that behavior 100 times, you must met out that discipline 100 times. Our children know. Our children, that was the time our son did something in school. He was disciplined. He repeated it. The teacher, I met with the teacher. The teacher said, maybe we should forgive. I said, no, this is not a matter of forgiving. He did not offend anybody. He's learning. It means he hasn't learned. So he needs to face the consequence again. Consistency, it matters. Then dismissing emotions. Many of us, especially African parents, we fall into these mistakes. Dismissing emotions. Children learn that my feelings don't matter. Your child is crying, say keep quiet, stop crying. What is making you to, if you don't stop crying, I will give you what to cry about. Abi, is that not how you say it? Let me hear now. If you say that too in your house, almost all of us, Abi, it teaches children that their feeling don't matter. Then conditional love. You only express love when your child is doing well, when your child takes first position, when your child obeys. That is only when you show love. You are teaching your child that I am loved when I perform, and that is not true love. That is not true love. Sometimes, even in the heat of anger, when I'm angry, even when I'm angry and I want to discipline our children, I'll first tell them, hmm, I love you. I truly love you. But this behavior is not acceptable. There was a time our children were playing, they were playing, they were saying, your mommy once said, and our son said, Oban Jesu, I love you, but sometimes I don't love what you used to do. Love should be unconditional in parenting. Love should be unconditional in parenting. We shouldn't teach our children that they are loved only when they perform. So they don't just affect behavior. All these things, all these 5 mistakes that I've talked about, they don't just affect behavior, they shape identity. And in parenting, identity is huge. See, if you give a child identity, you are giving that child everything that the child need to live with in life. That's why I say from age 0 to age 5, 7, you should be intentional about giving your child identity, because that's the basis of everything you are going to teach your children. Everything. Everything. Identity. Maybe in another session, I will talk about identity so that we'll understand what I really mean. So, which one of these do you see often in your home? I love to hear from you. Comment below. I read everything. All right. So, I want to share with you a safe model. A safe model. So that if you remember nothing else in this class, excuse me, if you remember nothing, excuse me, in today's class, if you remember nothing, remember. that safe parenting builds strong children. Let me say it again. I said, if you can't remember anything in today's class, if you can't remember anything, remember this, that safe parenting builds strong children. So if your goal is to raise children who are strong, emotionally and otherwise, you need to create a safe environment. You need to make your home a safe place. I am currently writing a book. Even me, that I'm writing the book, I'm falling in love with that book. The Hidden Cost of a Broken Home. In this book, I take the reader back into my childhood and into other, children that I've worked with. See, childhood is not only changing your child, it is quietly writing your child's future. If you get that, write it in the comment section. Childhood is not just influencing your child, it is quietly writing the future of your child. If you miss the introduction, please, after the session, watch the introduction. You will understand these statements better. I need to rush. We still have quite a lot to cover. So if you remember nothing in this session, please remember that safe parenting builds strong children. Now, the safe parenting, S stands for secure attachment. S stands for secure attachment. You can put it down in the comment section so that every one of us, can pick it from there. Secure attachment. I am safe with you. I am safe with you. In a moment of failure, your response matters more than the failure itself. Do you know that some of us, in our struggling moments, we can't even open up to our parents? And let me also point this out. A lot of us think that because our children are our children, they will just, open up. Yes, sir. Safe parenting builds strong children. Yes. If you are running safe parenting system in your home, you create a safe environment in your home, honestly, you are raising strong children. Trust me. Trust me when I say so. Yes, trust me. You are raising strong children, emotionally and otherwise. Children who can run to you even in their mistakes, even in their error. They can run to you. I gave an instance of our son, who would come even when he has made mistake. It shows how safe he is. And that is a system we should create in our home so that our children will grow up, emotionally strong. Some of us can't relate with our parents the way we should. Some of us can't open up with our struggles. I have a lot of teenagers. They are struggling. Some of us are abused sexually right under their parents' nose, and they cannot share with their parents. They cannot share with their parents. And these are parents who will say, I am disciplinarian. I discipline. I don't take nonsense. I don't tolerate nonsense. And a lot of nonsenses, if there is any English like that. Is there any English like that? Many nonsenses are happening right under their nose without them knowing. Secure attachments. Make your children safe around you. That's S. S stands for secure attachment. A stands for acknowledge emotions. If you want to raise emotionally strong children, acknowledge emotions. It is okay to cry. Stop telling your child to stop crying. Find out why and support that emotions. Support it. Acknowledge emotions. Before correction, connect. Your child is crying and you're saying you are still shouting. Some of us will still be beating a child. A child is crying and you're still beating that child. Come off it. Come off it. What is wrong with us? Come off it. We need to unlearn all these habits. They are doing so, they are not doing us any good. But because we are not raised to question system, we can't even sit down and think that this thing that my parents did to me, what impact did it have on me? If we're able to sit down, and do some analysis, we will know that most of these things actually damaged us. I was telling a set of parents recently, I said, some of us, our purposes were beaten out of us. Our children, our parents beat out our destiny out of us, all in the name of discipline. Acknowledge emotions. I see you're upset. Your child is angry. It is okay to be angry. Anger is an emotion. It is okay. It is okay. Normalize emotions. In my house, there is no bad emotions. There is no positive emotions. There is no negative emotion. You are angry. You have the right to be angry. You just don't have the right to misbehave because you are angry. And that is where emotional intelligence comes in. You can be angry. Even the scripture permits it. That's why the scripture says, be angry, but do not sin. That is emotional intelligence. Even the scripture acknowledges anger. Anger is an emotion. It is welcome. Your child is angry. Your child is throwing shoulder. It is okay. You just need to correct the child how to better express that emotion so that your child can make better choices next time. All right. F is firm boundaries. I'm talking about safe framework, that I created. Safe parenting framework that you can use to raise emotionally strong children. Firm boundaries. Be clear, but be kind. Be kind. Be kind with your boundaries. Sometimes when we are trying to enforce boundaries, our daughter will say, "Mommy, but this is not fair. Mommy, this boundary is not fair. This thing that you are doing is not fair." Be kind. Be clear. Set boundaries. Yes, it is okay to set boundaries. Be kind, but be clear. Discipline should guide and not damage. If you are disciplined and you are damaging your child, you're actually not disciplined in the real sense of it. E, empower independence. Empower independence. Don't rescue too quickly. Don't rush to rescue your children. Allow your children to struggle. Healthy struggle. Say struggle. Your child is trying to fix shoelace and you are rushing. Let me help you. Let me help you. Allow your child to struggle. That is how they build emotional strength. That is how they build resilience. Your child is struggling with button and you're saying, come. You don't know how to do it. The child is even saying, I can do it. Say, no, you cannot do it. You cannot do it. Let me do it for you. You are breaking your child's emotional strength. Allow your child to struggle. Sometimes when our children are struggling, even sometimes when they call me to rescue them, I tell them, have you tried another way? I've tried. Okay, you can try again. And most of the time, they will get it right. What if I'm not there? That's what I normally say. What if I'm not here? And you need to sort this out. What would you do? Allow struggle. Empower independence. Don't rescue too quickly. Let them try. Let your child fail. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the pathway to success. If you can't fail, you can't succeed. Show me a man who has succeeded without failing. Show me. It doesn't exist. It never exists. Show me. Failure is not the opposite of success. I shall not fail. I shall never fail. I shall never fail. Well done, no, Mr. I shall never fail. Well done. Huh? Failure is feedback. Yes, failure is feedback. And we need to let our children know so that they can build resilience. So that when they fail, they will have that courage to rise up again and try again. All right. So Confidence is built through experience. Confidence is not built through instruction. Don't think as I giving your children instruction, do this, do that. Hey, don't do this. Hey, don't think you are building confidence. You are not. Oh, confidence is built through experience. When your children experience failure, they try, they fail, they struggle with something, they couldn't achieve it, they were supported. That is when confidence is built. So, if you get this right, you won't need to force obedience. All the things that I've said, if you get them right, you will never need to force confidence. Your child will develop confidence naturally. Your child will develop confidence naturally, if you get all these things right. See, parenting is not as difficult as we think. It is not. We just need intentionality and consistency, and that's all. You don't have to be perfect. I keep saying it. Even as your coach, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I do things and I apologize. Sometimes I say things that I'm not supposed to say. Yes, yesterday I was still apologizing to our baby. What did he did something, and I snapped. I snapped at him. Later I met him. I said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have talked to you the way I talked to you. My emotions got the better of me. So parenting is not about perfection. I'm not expecting you to be perfect. No, it's just about intentionality. Intentionality. So, intentionality. If you want more parenting insight like this, please give me a thumb up so that we can, bring more of this to your hearing. So, let me put a real life application together. Your child is having a tantrum in the public. And most of us, see, I've done this thing that I want to tell you now. I have done it before. So I am guilty of what I want to say now. Your child is having a tantrum in the public. People are looking at you, they are staring at you, and you are feeling embarrassed. You're like, why is this boy behaving like this? And most times we react instantly. But that particular moment is actually building your child's future. That moment is building your child. When I discovered this, no matter how my child is misbehaving outside or something, yes, I try to calm my child down, but not to disrupt my child's ego. If you like, say it that my children are not well behaved. That's your problem. I'm not in competition with anybody. In any way, I'm not raising perfect children. No, we are not raising perfect. We are not expecting our children to be perfect. So our children can misbehave. It is allowed. They are children, they are still learning. We'll keep teaching them, we'll keep correcting them. We keep teaching them, we keep correcting them. So that moment, some of us will even beat that child publicly. You say, anywhere that my child misbehave, that's where I will discipline that child. My mom used to do that thing. If you misbehave in the market square, you will begin to receive your both in that market square. That's where she will start. It's actually not a good discipline strategy. But safe response would say, I see you're upset. Your child is throwing tantrum. Yes, a safe a parent who is running a safe system of parenting will say, I see you are upset. We don't hit. We don't do this. This is not an acceptable behavior. Let's calm down together. How many of us have done that before? I now do that. I'm not like you. I've left you. I've left you behind. Your child failed at school and you start shaming. Those children that took first position, do they have two heads? You are scoring zero. You are doing this. When I was in school, I was the best. You are shaming. Don't shame. Guide thinking. A child that doesn't behave well, perform well academically today, may come out to be something unbelievable tomorrow. Just guide thinking. Look at it. What is going wrong? What is going on? And help the child to build problem solving. All right? Your child is lying. Don't punish. Don't punish. Some of us that are Christian, we know how to. A pastor's wife said something related. He said, when your child is telling lies, you just use scripture. Tell the child. Then he quoted the scripture that that child. Yes, we use scripture to teach our children. But let me tell you something. If you use scripture to create fear in your child, you are still not disciplining your child. Your child will still not understand what you want that your child to understand. And what it means is that your child is not getting the message and your child will misbehave. Your child is telling lies. It is not your child's fault. It is your fault. It means that your child has not trusted you enough that you'll be able to handle his or her truth. That's what psychology of life says. In one of these sessions, I'll come and address lying. Because some of us think when your child is telling you, say, devil has entered this child, oh, this child need deliverance. You even say, you are telling lies, that means you will be stealing. You are demon possessed. No. It's not always. Is there demon? Is there devil? Yes, I know. The scripture says we should be aware of the vices of devil. I know. But most of the things that we see or as spiritual or as something big, they are developmentally appropriate. That a child is telling lie doesn't mean that child is a bad child. It doesn't mean that that child is demonic. It just means that that child has not learned honesty as a skill. It just means that you have not created a safe environment enough for that child to come up with his or her mistakes. So when your child is telling lies, don't just punish. Ask, what made you feel unsafe to tell me truth? Again, I will address lie in one of the session. So mental strength is not built in big moments. We think that when big things happen, that is when big teachings happen. It's not always like that. Big teachings, most times, big teachings happens in ordinary moments. In the moment where your child splits milk on the floor, you ask your child to do something, your child forgets and all of that. Little everyday moments. Little everyday moments. That is when mental strength is usually built in everyday interaction. How you show up, how you relate, how you interact with your children. All right. So one day, your child will have a voice in the world. One day. You may be there, you may not be there. Sometimes, all of us, one day, will grow old and we will go to be the Lord, to be with the Lord. Your child will have a voice in the world. The question I want you to ask you is that, will it be your child's voice or the fear that your child has learned at home? Answer that question. When your child eventually have the voice, will it be your child's voice or that voice will be the fear? The fear that your child has learned from you at home. Again, I say that your child doesn't need a perfect parent. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, perfection is a myth. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. Only God can be perfect. The scripture says we should be perfect. What is coach even saying? Is she not reading scripture? Is he not a Christian? Is it not? The scripture says we should be perfect as our Father in heaven is perfect. If we can't be perfect, the scripture will not ask us to be perfect. Come closer to me. The same scripture says we should work out our salvation with trembling. Perfection is a journey. In fact, I was thinking about the book that I was writing. I was thinking, and I got to a point and I said, may I never be perfect. Yes, may I never be perfect. Because when you think you are perfect, it means you stop learning, you stop growing. Perfection is a journey. It's a myth. It doesn't exist. We keep working. We keep doing our best. We keep improving. Your quest to be perfect is your quest to destroy yourself. Sorry if that word is harsh, but that is what it is. So your child doesn't need a perfect parent. Don't even try to be perfect. Your child just need a safe parent. Here is me again. Ayolua Adedeji, your parenting guru, the founder and the lead consultant at the Modern Family Focus. Hey, if you haven't joined us, oh, let me tell you, our play therapy course will soon be launched out. Please, when the registration is on, please do well to register. You will learn a lot. And currently, we are running a flash sale. Yes, 4 of our books that will originally cost 16,500 naira. We are running a flash sale now, and you will get the 4 books at 10,000 naira. You will save 6,500 naira. Discipline without damage. What I wish I knew before becoming a parent. Heart to heart. This will teach you how to communicate with your children so that your children will listen, and learn. And why find the unlost purpose?